is it possible that the last time that you bought bananas, you actually funded Colombia killing people?
What?
Yeah. So this is bananas, literally bananas. Okay. Chiquita Brands. Yeah. The banana guys. They have been ordered to pay $38.3 million to 16 family members of people that were killed during the country of Colombia's long civil war by a violent right-wing paramilitary group that was funded by Chiquita. So let's let that sink in. You buy a banana from Chiquita. Chiquita then funds right-wing paramilitary group that murders people. I all of a sudden have scratched bananas off of my grocery list. Or maybe I'm looking for Dole from now on. I don't know. I'll have to check their record. But okay, so this was a landmark case. It happened down in West Palm Beach. And this is literally the first time that a company has been found liable in any of multiple similar lawsuits pending. So the jury in this West Palm Beach courthouse, basically, it marked the first time that this company has been found liable, even though there's multiple other similar lawsuits pending in other U.S. courts. Okay. But what's really crazy is this is basically one of the first times that a private U.S. company has basically been found guilty for human rights abuses in other countries. Wow. So according to these court documents, Chiquita paid the United Self-Defense Forces of Colombia, which is known by its Spanish acronym AUC, about $1.7 million between 1997 and 2004. Now, the AUC is blamed for the killings of thousands of people during those years. Okay? Now, Chiquita is claiming that their Colombia subsidiary, the part of their company that operates in Colombia, which is called Banadex, that they only made those payments to AUC out of fear. They were afraid that it would, if they didn't make the payment, they would harm their employees and their operations. So that kind of sounds like a bribe. That's not much better. So you're saying you admitted you did make a payment, but you didn't make the payment for them to kill people. You just did it to where your company would be safe, and you didn't think about the ramifications of giving 1.7 bad guys,
It's bananas. Like, there's no other way to put it.
It's truly bananas. Now, here is the part that really got me. Okay, like all this time, I'm like, oh my God, the Death Banana Squad. Like, I'm going to have nightmares about bananas. Like, awful.
Fair.
So, the Colombian president, Gustavo Petro, when he was questioned by why the justice system would determine that Chiquita financed paramilitary groups while judges in Colombia have not made any rulings against Chiquita. Okay. So they asked him, and he said there was a 2016 peace deal, which calls for the creation of a tribunal that will disclose judicial truths. Okay. And he goes, why don't we have one? And so the crazier, I kept digging and digging and digging on this because I was like, this is ridiculous. So you may not know this, but Chiquita actually changed their name at one point to try to hide who they were. They've done lots of stuff. And back in 2007, Chiquita actually pleaded guilty to U.S. criminal charges of engaging in transactions with foreign terrorist organizations. The AUC, by the way, was designated as such a group by the State Department in 2001. Back then, they agreed to pay a $25 million fine, okay? The company was also required to implement a compliance and ethics program. Well, I think it's pretty safe to say they failed the requirements of that. Because so now they're showing a pattern, okay? They did it in 2007, paid a pretty decent fine, and now it's 2025. And basically they're being found guilty for doing the same thing from 1996 to 2004. So it only took their compliance and their, new program only lasted about 10 years. Ooh. So all I gotta say is I have never really checked the stickers on my bananas. I will say sometimes I double check to make sure I don't actually grab the organic ones, but now I'm pretty sure I might just be avoiding Chiquita.
It's wild. Like, so part of me remembers hearing about uh, the fruit company. I can't, it's already left my brain because I'm so guffawed by the entire thing. But that I remember hearing their original name and knowing that it was associated with like atrocities. But I don't know that I've seen a Chiquita banana in a while, but I don't know that I've paid enough attention. And I'm like, all right, now I really do have
Well,
to actually pay attention because murder.
Chiquita is actually the new name. It used to go by the name United Fruit Company.
That's what it was. Okay.
But United Fruit Company has kind of had a bunch of scandals. So they figured changing the name to Chiquita would actually kind of, make people forget about all the scandals under United Fruit Company.
Same song and dance, it's just wearing a different hat.
Literally. And then they put, Miss Chiquita with a hat on.
Exactly.
I mean,
Still murdering Colombian
call.
families left and right. It's absolutely crazy. But I mean, I'm glad they're actually being held accountable, but it's still insane to me that they're like, but we just wanted to save our people. Never mind all these other people that died in the process.
Well, I don't mean this to sound as bad as it is, but there's other places besides Colombia that you can grow bananas in.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you're fearful for your employees and your operations, close down that section, go somewhere else. Don't pay a terrorist group that is going to murder people just so you can grow your bananas.
No, it's really bad when you have to be like, hey guys, you know what might be good? Not growing there because lots of blood in your bananas.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Well, and it's crazy too because there's just been if you ever get a chance, go search Chiquita or United Fruit Company and just look at their history because they have been around since the 80s. Okay.
Yeah.
And while they may have been around this long, they've had plenty of time to be part of some scandals. Okay. I mean, they were not always on the nice end of the stick, if you get me. I hate to say it, but it appears that the majority of the time they were actually the villain. Okay. So it kind of doesn't surprise me that they're kind of sticking with their villain trend here. And yes, I am now labeling Chiquita bananas as villains. Let me know down below. Have you ever heard about these Chiquita scandals in the country of Colombia? And are you going to stop purchasing Chiquita bananas and opt for a different banana supplier? Let me know down below.